Hello, the one and only Xylophoney here with a brand new ARK video showcasing that massive creature behind the T-Rex. Oh, you didn't see the T-Rex? The tiny little T-Rex at the bottom there standing in front of the Titanosaurus? Whew! Look at how big he is. He is quite large, even completely outsizing the Giganotosaurus, who we thought was outrageously oversized. We now see the Titanosaurus, standing at about 3 times the height of even some trees. So that's interesting. We'll get into that in the video here, but we have a few things showcased in the dev kits and things like that we want to show you guys today, including some new creatures and cool things coming to ARK. But first of all, we're going to talk about a giant life-size T-Rex coming to PAX East. I'll be at PAX East attempting to tame this thing, attempting to ride this thing, and staying around it as much as possible. But I also have a meetup scheduled, so if you are going to PAX East, make sure to let me know. I'll have another video coming out with some more info about that. But yeah, this is surely going to be really cool, and I'll be sure to take some pictures with it. But moving on to the news for the actual game. We have first here the Akatina, or the giant snail of ARK. Now, of course, this guy will be very good for getting resources, but we also, well, it's really cool to see. Now, he's going to be slow, he's going to be a bug, he's not going to be a warrior, but he's going to be another thing kind of like on the scale of a dung beetle, where you're going to want to tame one just for the resources it can supply you. Its goo can be used as cementing paste, I believe, so it'll be very useful to have, and you really won't have to farm that much cementing paste at all. Next up, we have a picture of the Allosaurus. Now, it is just the texture of the Allosaurus. We don't have any of the coloring or other things on that. It's just the model of it, but we can get a idea of what kind of size it's going to be. Looking at this guy, he seems like he's going to be really cool. A ton of people are excited to see him, and just the fact that he's in the dev kit means he's one step closer to being added to the game. So I think you guys are going to be really happy about this guy. However, he is not quite as big as some people thought he was going to be. Well, we can't get an accurate size depiction in this, but I have a feeling that he's going to be bigger than a Carnotaur, but a good size smaller than a T-Rex. So let's move on to the Calico Therian. Ooh, look at this guy. He's even bigger than the Allosaurus, but not by much. He's still going to be a pretty daunting size. Imagine this guy throwing boulders at your base. It's going to be pretty intimidating. I really can't wait to see this guy in the game, especially next to some Allosauruses. Let's just be honest, I want to see all 3 of these guys. Probably mostly the Allosaurus, but who knows. Next up, we have the Cnidaria the Jellyfish being added to ARK. So that's pretty cool. It's going to be a lot bigger than I thought it would be, but you know, some big, slow, giant jellyfish in the water is going to be really cool to ARK. I like how they have the different models, how some are wider than others, and they'll have different looks to them. Definitely a cool addition, and I can't wait to see them around the oceans of ARK. Well, let's be honest, I'm going to be terrified of running into them in the oceans of ARK. But next up, we have one of my favorite additions, the Diplodocus. Now, the Diplodocus, although is smaller than the Bronto, completely towers over the Calico Therian and the Allosaurus. So that's one of the main reasons I thought the Allosaurus was going to be a little smaller. But the Diplodocus is still really cool, and just look at that face. Hey guys! Oh man, I really can't wait to get this one above all 3 of the others combined. I know there's a lot of Allosaur fans out there, but I really want to get my hands on a Diplodocus. They're just so stupid. I mean, cool. So that is the Diplodocus, and just look at the tail. Look at the tail! Now, seeing as they added this kind of length on the tail, I'm only assuming they're going to incorporate the Diplodocus' signature trait, that it has a whip-like tail. So I'm thinking when it walks around you may see the tail whipping about. So that'll be a really cool animation to see in the game. I can't wait to see it myself. Moving on to our next image, we have the Saber-Tooth Salmon. Now, he is not all that impressive, however he is pretty large, considering I think he's standing next to the Diplodocus foot. Looking at the other things, of course he's standing next to the Diplodocus foot. So he has some decent size to him. So he's pretty threatening actually, I didn't think he was going to be. But yeah, Saber-Tooth Salmon, another addition to the rivers of ARK. And here's the one we've been waiting for. Now, we thought the Diplodocus was big compared to the Allosaurus, but take a look. That's this guy. This big ol' massive thing. Whew. He is giant. The Titanosaurs, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we can see the size pretty much judging by the Giganotosaurus here. Giganotosaurus is going to be around the length of a Diplodocus, which means Diplodocus probably isn't going to be that much smaller than a Bronto, but the height definitely is, especially since it's a very horizontal form there. And, yeah, there's a massive Giganotosaurus. Now, the Giganotosaurus has a ton of length, at least twice the height of a Giganotosaurus. Its mass is just off the chart with that body. It's got armored plates. Considering its head is that high, you may not be able to reach that with many projectiles. So you're gonna need a Quetzal just to hit its head if that's gonna be how you're gonna take it down. I'm assuming there's gonna be other ways to take it down. It hasn't been made completely clear yet, but large amounts of damage to the head have been spoken about. But just hitting the head is going to be difficult. Something this big, and I assume its turn radius isn't that terrible, so it'll probably move its head fairly quickly. It'll be quite the feat to tame this thing, and I can't wait to give it a shot, even though I'm most likely going to fail miserably. And you could all think, well, I think I'll be able to do it. No, that's just going to be hard. Or at least I hope it's going to be really hard. I hope it's going to be insanely difficult to tame. Because the Giganotosaurus even is possible to tame solo. But I want this thing to be a challenge. So, the Titanosaurus. Let's see a couple other pictures of him. Here's a nice frontal picture of him. You can really get an idea for the size of him compared to the Diplodocus, who seems massive. Unfortunately, we don't see the Allosaurus in this picture, but he's a little smaller than the Calico Therian, who is right there. And then bang. He is large. Very, very, very large. Whew. Now, he's not quite a mountain, but he is a very, very large rock, if you consider him to be a natural feature of the land. I can't wait to see how big you can put a base on his back. That'll be really cool. So, next picture we have is that length look. So, it looks like he'll be about twice the length of a Giganotosaurus and twice the height. That seems about the right size judgment. Let me know if you agree in the comments below. But this will be quite the duel. I think the Titanosaurus will win this battle just because of the size, but the Giganotosaurus is probably going to pack more damage. So, I just want to see these guys matching off in the wild. That'll be a cool fight. Then we have another picture of them here, just showcasing that Diplodocus head. And I think we're going to move on to the Troodon. Now, the Troodon obviously is smaller than all of these creatures showcased, but it's cool to see him. Just because he's a nice little smart dinosaur, probably smarter than all of the other dinosaurs shown, but, you know, much smaller, and definitely has a nice look to him, although we can't see much of it yet. And here's a picture of him standing on the Titanosaur's head, just for fun, because that kind of thing is cool. But that's all the dinosaurs that are in the dev kit. Let's talk about some of the other things, like armor. That's right, the tech armor. Now, we pretty much get our own robo-exosuits with the new tech tier. There's a lot of weird things. Now, we've all seen the bionic T-Rex, we've heard of the bionic Giganotosaurus, and here's bionic humans. Now, apparently this will just be another tier of gear in the game, so will it be possible to get it and gather it easily? Who knows, maybe it'll be super difficult, maybe you'll need to do incredible things to achieve this gear. But I think it's pretty cool. Here's a look at the back of it. You got that protective spinal plate, powered knees so you can do crazy jumps and stuff. I don't know if it's going to actually give you any abilities, but the armor value on it will surely be insane. Here's a look of it on a dude. Just really overpowered, intense looking armor. It's very, very impressive. I just really like the look of it. And, of course, we're not going to just armor you up, but we're going to add lasers to your Giganotosaurus. That's right. What would your Giganotosaurus be without a giant tech armored laser on its head? Well, it would still be a Giganotosaurus. But imagine a Giganotosaurus with a giant armored tech laser on its head. Yes, now we can truly know fear. Or just no giving up. That's pretty much what this signifies. If you see a Giganotosaurus with a giant armored laser charging at you, you just give up. You lose the game. Here's another image of it, just showcasing how cool it looks. And I just really want to see it shooting lasers. Any dinosaur shooting lasers is just a funny thing. Now, of course, yes, it's not accurate to dinosaurs whatsoever. But that's part of the fun of ARK that people often forget. It definitely doesn't take itself super seriously. The dinosaurs are often unrealistic. The things you do in the game are often silly. You can poop by hitting a key. There's just funny things added to the game, and I feel like attaching a laser to the strongest creature in the game is just one of those things that we can all just laugh about. So hopefully you enjoy that. And there's also grenades, but who cares about grenades when you have giant Titanosaurus lasers? But let me know what you guys think of all these new additions in this dev kit. I am definitely interested in seeing a few of these things. I think mostly the Diplodocus for me. The Titanosaurus is obviously really easy to get behind though. And as soon as the tech gear comes out, that'll be an interesting change as well. Let me know what you think in those comments. Leave a like if you have enjoyed the video. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time.